If you have a good voice, speak well, enjoy research and writing, and are good at making interesting small talk, consider becoming an announcer. Announcers work in radio and television, reading news, sports, and weather, and hosting live events and programs. To learn more, we spent some time with an announcer.
Hi, my name is Jaylen Nye. I'm a radio announcer at 92.5 Joe FM in Edmonton. I do the morning show, so I co-host the morning show with Gary James. Our job is to make sure that we're entertaining you, but we're also giving you the information that you need to get through your day. Anywhere where there's a radio station, you can work, which is really awesome. In Canada, I mean, it's from one extreme to the next. You can start off in the smallest little station in, let's say, Chetwynd, BC, or make it to the big leagues, Toronto, Vancouver, Calgary, Edmonton. There's no limit for a radio announcer. There is a bit of a challenge in this business when you think about it. There's only so many radio stations in so many cities. There's only so many jobs available.
Okay, come on, let's bring it back. Bring it back.
Line crossed.
780-451-8888.
Really, to start in radio, most of the time, most people would need, all you really need is a college diploma. I always found that a college program gave me the basic knowledge of what I needed to know, what I needed to do behind the microphone, how to work on my voice, and to access all of the things that were going to make my show great.
There are entry-level positions as far as getting into announcers. Very seldom will you move from one department into becoming an announcer. Generally, the announcers that we hire will start with a shift, such as an evening or an overnight, and hopefully move themselves up.
Skills you need in radio, you need to be able to talk. You need to be able to voice your opinions clearly. You need to be engaging. You need to be real. You need to be able to connect with the listener. And you have to be creative, whether it's how you're going to approach a topic or how you're just going to execute a contest. And you have to have a genuine love of people and being able to interact with the people who come into your studio or the people who are calling in. There is definitely a technical side to the radio industry, whether it's, setting up the satellite feeds and the ISD lines so I can talk through the magic of radio to someone in Toronto. You have to be able to understand that. Of course, the biggest one in radio would be the actual board and the equipment that you use when you're in the studio. There's a lot of equipment that we use as well to record the phone conversations, which really helps us because sometimes you just want a 15-second soundbite. You can't go for 2 minutes. You just pull whatever you need there. A lot of people wonder about the music and the music that we play, and they think that we get to pick the songs. No, that's not how it works. We have a music director at the radio station who takes our playlist and says, this is what's going to go where. And for the most part, there's very little leeway about pulling out songs and dropping songs in. Radio is not a 9-to-5 job. Radio stations are 24-hour operations, and so there's a lot of kind of shift work. I do the morning show, and so for me, this morning I was up at 3:30 in the morning, at work by 4:15, 4:30 in the morning, and then the day really begins. So for me, I'm also charged with doing news for my morning show. So I go upstairs, I write 6 newscasts in a matter of about 45-50 minutes. And then bang, 5:30, I'm on the air. And then it begins, 5:30 till 9 o'clock, 3.5 hours straight, you're on the air.
Enter to win 10 grand in new cabinets from Modern Kitchens. Jackie Jeffrey joins us with your last check on traffic. Jackie.
When you walk into the studio to start your shift, things are going to get crazy because there are so many things going on in those 3.5 hours. Your news reports, your weather reports, your traffic reports, and getting the listeners, getting them to call in. Once they start calling in, if you hit on a topic, the phone bank's lighting up, you have to record that while you're finding the traffic person, while you're preparing for the news. On top of it all, then you have to talk with your co-host and figure out, okay, what are we going to use? What are we going to cut out? What are we going to keep? Who are we going to go to next? It is this constant juggling act that goes for 3.5 hours straight. Then I'm done. I'm off the air at 9 o'clock. The next shift comes in. Doesn't mean that my day's over though. My day can continue on depending on what kind of remotes that the station wants me to have doing any other work at other clients and that sort of thing, or my charity work.
And we know being an Oilers fan has its ups and its downs.
One of the other things that radio announcers are called upon to do often is to voice commercials, voice spots for clients, for furniture stores, car dealerships, whatever.
Go to Boston Pizza after the game.
There are many, many different kinds of announcers in the business, and depending on what you're interested in, there's probably something for you. You start at one level, traffic announcers. You know, people up in the chopper, just that's their job, is to deliver the traffic. You have news readers who their job is to bring you the news, the weather, and the sports. There's talk show. There's a talk show format where you can get on there and every day you're talking about something different. Then you have the musical DJs, I think the ones that most people think of typically, that play the music and that entertain you with little stories in between everything. So depending on what you're interested in, it's there for you. Given the hours that I work very early in the morning, the work-life balance is so important because you can burn yourself out very, very quickly. And for me, I must spend time outside with my animals. I must go out there, and for me, it's just even just walking with them. It clears my mind, and oftentimes it gives me ideas for my show the next day, something I may see, something I may hear, a conversation that I've had with someone at the dog park. If you're interested in this job, go at it full bore. I've always believed you have to have a passion for whatever it is that you're doing. If you don't have a passion, you're not going to survive this industry. This career choice for me has really been a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. And I cannot believe I get paid every day to go to work and do what I do. And I'm hopeful that the ride continues, and I simply cannot wait to see what the future brings.
Education requirements vary for announcers. Most have related post-secondary education. Employers generally require news announcers to have a related diploma or degree. If the occupation of announcer interests you, there's more information available, including educational requirements and salary ranges, in the occupational profiles on ALICE. You may also be interested in the related occupations of actor, model, or reporter. Learn more on the ALICE website and make the most of your future. Visit us at alice.alberta.ca.